All right, hello YouTubers. I'm sure everyone, well, people that actually watch it may have seen some of the new information on Jade Helm. Not even new, but just the information that's being released. So what is Jade Helm 15? Supposedly, it's a realistic military training that the U.S. Army Special Operations is enforcing. Realistic military training sounds sketchy. So the purpose of Jade Helm. The commander of the United States Army Special Operation Command seeks a written invitation and approval from local officials to conduct realistic military training within their jurisdictions for joint military exercise, Jade Helm 15, or JH15. What is realistic military training? Realistic military training, or RMT, is training conducted outside of federally owned property. Federally owned. So they're doing this in people's backyards who allow them, or people who are just willing to give up their space, or they might just take it. Who knows? The realistic military training process is designed to ensure proper coordination between DoD, and if you don't know what that is, that's Department of Defense, representatives, and local and regional authorities. The process includes the following measures: risk assessment, medical and communications plans, MOU, MOA, and licensing agreements, training areas, staging areas, role players, legal review, ID of training, staging areas, role players, airfield, drop zones, and landing zones, surveys. Letters of invitations obtained from local officials, mayor, county commission, coordination with local, state, and federal law enforcement, public affairs review. What is Jade Helm? Now, before I read off what they want to classify it as, I'm going to read off to you what information we found. So JADE stands for Joint Assistance for Deployment and Execution. Execution sounds quite sketchy if I do say so myself, especially considering that this is only supposed to be realistic military training. But yet they're going to be executioning people or creating executions, however that word may sound in my mouth right now. And then we have HELM. What does HELM stand for? Homeland Eradication of Local Militants. Now that part should scare you. I hate to say it, but it should. Why would we be eradicating local militants? Now, I know in the news they've been saying a lot about like ISIS trying to move its way to America and all this other stuff and how they're stopping it and infiltrating people. It's like that's still sketchy too, because I mean, are they just assuming that locals are now ISIS? You're just going to start picking people off? We don't know. Okay, JH, aka Jade Helm, is a challenging 8-week joint military and interagency unconventional, hear the word, unconventional warfare exercise conducted throughout Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah, and Colorado. Now, before I go on to the rest of these bullet points here, they have updated it. Colorado has backed out, supposedly because of the training, the people that were going to be training that are supposed to be here. No, supposedly the news story is that the reason why they backed out is because they didn't have enough people or some nonsense. I can verify that later with my other information. But they have added 2 new states to this agenda of theirs, which is Mississippi and Louisiana. And I actually have pictures of what looks to be like some ish going down in Louisiana, which we're going to have to make sure that we post that up for you. Okay. JH is a U.S. Special Operations Command sponsored exercise to improve the Special Operations Forces UW, which is unconventional warfare, capability as part of the national security strategy. Now, why would they be performing these on American soil? If we're supposed to be fighting terrorism, and I thought that terrorism was in another country, I mean, to my knowledge, they were doing training at their facilities going out to these places. And now they want to just do the training in your backyard. Sounds sketchy. So Jade Helm 15, forgot to add that in there for you, will run from the 15th of July through the 15th of September of this year. Now listen to what they say about who they are and where they're going to be. I mean, I already said the states, but they've actually broke it down to the counties in Texas of where they're going to be. Participants of this Jade Helm 15 will be U.S. Army Special Forces Command, Green Berets, U.S. Navy SEALs, U.S. Air Force Special Operations Command, USMC Marine Special Operations Command, USMC Marine Expeditionary Units, 82nd Airborne Division Interagency Partners. Now, if this is training, I mean, this seems to be a bit excessive, which I understand in times of war you do need these people, these experts, but I mean, come on American soil sounds like a bit much. So the exercise locations within Texas is Bastrop, Smithville, which they've already questioned them about what's going on. I'm not sure about these other ones yet. Big Springs, Caddo Lake, Caldwell, Cristoval, College Station, Dell City, El Dorado, Goliad, hope I'm pronouncing that right, Junction, Leakey, Menard, Mountain Home, San Angelo, San Antonio, and Victoria. Mind you, they don't have major cities in here because they ain't having it. Now here we have this list, a map. And down there is the legend. Red indicating hostile, blue permissive, brown uncertain but leaning toward hostile, light blue uncertain but leaning toward friendly. Now why would good old Texas be in red? Why would they be considered hostile? Anyone take a guess? It's because Texans are about their rights. They don't want anybody taking their guns, and they don't want anybody taking their Bibles, which is fair. It's like you're impeding on their right to be who they are, to bear arms, the Second Amendment, all that good stuff. You're just ruining it for them, along with the First Amendment. And then you have Utah, which I learned, they actually have a pretty good policy about weapons. You can carry one. Just found out today somebody out there got shot for trying to rob somebody by stealing their car. So, hey, justice has been served without the police. Looky there. And you also have Mormons. So that would be the First Amendment that this actually impedes upon, which is the infringement of the religion. So they're going to be taking them out and consider them hostile because they don't want no part of it either. And as you see down at the bottom, they have the insurgent pocket down by Mexico at the bottom of California there. And I'm still unsure as to why they would consider that hostile, but I'm sure more information will arise as things get on their way. Now they have a list here of why Texas. I mean, I would read it, but I think it's just BS, really. I'll just read the top line. It says, the United States Special Operations Command has conducted numerous exercises in Texas because Texans are historically supportive of efforts to prepare our soldiers, airmen, Marines, and sailors to fight the enemies of the United States. Now, to fight the enemies of the United States. Why, if HELM, which stands for Homeland Eradication of Local Militants, why would they be on U.S. soil fighting enemies unless there's a plan of war or something worse to come? Why would they be doing that here? Makes no sense. Local militants means locals, local Texas area, and those who want to protect themselves and protect the Constitution initially. So they may support the military, but they're not going to support them trying to take away their rights and strip them of their freedoms. It's just not going to happen. I don't think it should happen with anybody. So let's see. Jade Helm's impact on the area. Over 1,200 service members will participate in Jade Helm 15 throughout Texas to include the training unit, operational support personnel, and opposing force personnel. Anticipate minimal physical impact on given area due to the large area of operations. Funding identified for this portion of the exercise will go straight into the economy in the way of supplies, food, fuel, lodging, and services for exercise participants. Estimated economic impact of Jade Helm is approximately $150,000 to the local economy. Now, what kind of nonsense is that? I mean, $150,000, seriously? Y'all know damn well you can go ahead and throw in more money than that, but they want to make it small and make it seem like, oh, this is what you're gaining. Yeah, soon to be your death. Sorry to tell you. So what can we expect in Texas and all these other states where Jade Helm will be performing these RMTs? Increased military presence. Increased aircraft in the area at night. Now, if that doesn't sound suspicious, then I don't know what. I mean, if they need increased aircraft in the area, why don't they do it during the day? I mean, at night, that's a little sketchy. People sleeping, them out surveying, drones, all the other creepy stuff that goes on during the night hours. Local enforcement offices may receive noise complaints, which they're already prepared for because they're in cahoots with them as well. Some individuals may conduct suspicious, hear that again, suspicious activities designed to prepare them for complex environments overseas. Now, that just sounds downright creepy. Wake up middle of the night, go get yourself a glass of milk, and some man in black is chilling in your backyard. I mean, that is not even right. And I hate to laugh about it, but it's real. I mean, some individuals may conduct suspicious activities. That is clandestine, creepy, and just downright just not right. Not right. Local LEOs are fully aware of the exercise. As I said, the police force, your local police, they are in cahoots with these people. Local footprint will be 60 to 65 personnel. So, granted, at any given time, you will see a mob rolling down your street. Because it ain't going to be small. 60 to 65 people armed with guns that are supposedly, hear this, personnel may be carrying weapons with blank ammo. Blank my ass. Because if things go down, I mean, what is blank ammo going to do? Just piss a person off. And what if they really have a gun to shoot this other person? Now, I think they're just trying to provoke war. In some sense of the word, I think they're trying to provoke it. Some participants will be wearing civilian attire and driving civilian vehicles. Now, that's another sketchy one. Not only do you have to worry about a man in black in your backyard in the middle of the night, but now these same people are also going to be rolling around looking like you and driving cars like you. So, yeah, blend into your environment, right? Safety measures that Jade Helm 15 will take for the safety of civilians and exercise participants. So, because safety is their number one priority, daily communications between DOD and LEA, medics located with each element, which sounds suspicious in its own right, because it's like, what do you need a medical person rolling with 65 foot soldiers? I mean, obviously they plan on killing people or shooting somebody or doing something horrifying, and they want a medic close by just to verify that, hey, you're good. Coordination with life flight and local medical facilities. Once again, suspicious. Sending people to the hospital. You should be worried. Exercise support team with communications. Clear marking of exercise participants. Use of keywords to determine exercise participation. So clear marking of exercise participants. Wait till you see this Jade Helm 15 emblem. Fun times, people. Thorough risk mitigation assessment. Coordination with local residents, verbal and written, which, mind you, they didn't give them a verbal warning that these people would be invading like this. I mean, they probably posted it up, hey, we're going to be popping up. And then they decided to go ahead and post what I'm reading to you now for the locals of Texas. Like probably a few days before they decided to come in. Knock on the door, eh? Fire conditions reviewed prior to each scenario. So that means that things are going to be set ablaze. Know that. Fire extinguisher and other equipment located at each site. So they're going to be burning things, and then maybe if you're lucky, they might put them out. Public Affairs Office will make public announcement regarding exercise. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but the fact that they're in there in your state already, in your backyard, quote unquote, exercising, I mean, there's no need to make a public announcement about that when you can see them. So here, as I stated, is their fabulously creepy, I don't even know, like, patch? I don't know what they call it. Sorry, I'm at a loss for words. Their emblem, there we go. Jade Helm, master the human domain. Now, some people might think, oh, yeah, that's real badass, master the human domain. It sounds so awesome. But not when it's with information that you've just seen and I've read in regards to pretty much government militias coming into states. You see they have the 2 arrows, the sword, and this faint image in the center, which may not look like much, is actually a wooden shoe. Fancy that. Now, a lot of people are probably wondering, a wooden shoe, like what the hell is that doing there? Like, that is so random from the violence and other things and oppression that you've just read. Well, exactly it, oppression. Does the Holocaust ring a bell? Of course it does. People were suppressed, tortured, killed, and all these other horrifying things to wipe out a certain race of people so that the new world order could commence. That sounds familiar too, I'm sure. But these wooden shoes were actually shoes worn by Holocaust victims once they got to the concentration camps. Because, yeah, I mean, what's the point of having your own stuff? You're now a slave. You don't get to pick what you wear. So now you get these old, beat-up leather shoes or a wooden shoe. And I'm sure the wooden shoes are probably more sturdy, but that's just creepy. It's like, why would they have that in the back of their emblem? And faded out, no doubt, for people to try to figure it out and rack their brain about it. It's faded out because they don't really want you to see it, or they want you to think it's something else. But it's a wooden shoe, people. A wooden shoe. And this is contact information, which we know is all BS. Because I'm sure if you call these people, they're going to be like, you're tripping. We're not doing anything sketchy. Like, oh, yeah, that's what you say. But we know better. We know better. So from all this information, I know I've said some scary things for people. And some people are like freaking out. But I'm sorry. I'm very upset that this is even going on. And what's even worse is that they've been planning this for a very, 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 very long time. And hopefully with this information, you won't just keep it to yourself. I hope you'll share it with other people. I'm really hoping and praying that you actually share it with other people so that they're made aware of what our U.S. government is doing. Now they're trying to be nice and be like, oh, we're going to go ahead and unclassify some of this information. But the real meat and potatoes are still hidden in that classified file that they have. So please just educate others, educate yourself, and just look it up. You don't have to believe it, but just look it up. We're going to also go ahead and link some videos that we find quite pertinent to this JH15 that's going on. And I'm sure if you haven't figured out from the acronyms and then the fact that there's 15, that this is supposed to be acted out in 2015, obviously the time we're in now.
Or September.
Yep. From July to September, they will be training. So please make sure you watch out for the men in black in your backyard at night. It's going to be quite creepy when they actually get this training going on. But hopefully with enough people knowing, maybe we can stop it. Maybe we can, well, we might not be able to stop it, but we'll at least be able to educate people so that things will sway in the way of the people versus the government. We should never be afraid of our government. And thank you for watching.